Distinguished personalities ask retraction of BBC's badly sourced program against MEK. Distinguished personalities, former parliamentarians, cabinet members, and military officers wrote an open letter to BBC's Director General objecting the recent report aired by BBC demonizing the legitimate opposition to the Iranian dictatorship, the People's Mujahedin Organization of Iran. We constitute a group of former parliamentarians, cabinet members, and military officers from different nations, but united in our support of the Mujahedin-e-Khalq's efforts to end the religious dictatorship in Iran. Each of us has traveled to the MEK's camp in Albania, Ashraf III, established under the auspices of the United States government, and have extensive contacts with the membership of the MEK, read the letter. It is critical to understanding how such a story, at such variance with the collective experience of so many potential sources, could be influenced by known agents of the Iranian regime without editorial control. Truth in reporting is an obligation owed to the public, yourself, and in this case to the members of the MEK. Facts, and not misinformation provided by the MOIS, should have been the foundation of this story. As in the case of Der Spiegel, a retraction from BBC is merited, they concluded. Rouhani's advisor threatens protesters with violent suppression like 1988. Hassan Rouhanis, head of the Office of Strategic Assessments, Hassan Rouhanis' advisor and a former deputy in the notorious Ministry of Intelligence and Security of the Iranian regime, described the nationwide uprising as the Mujahedin-e-Khalq Eternal Light Operation No. 2. He wrote, "They thought they have started Eternal Light Operation No. 2, but in reality Operation Mersad No. 2 has started." As such, on the one hand, Rouhanis displayed the regime's fear of being overthrown by the uprising, and on the other hand, threatened the people with violent suppression, similar to what the murderous regime perpetrated in 1988 in Kermanshah province, meaning mass and arbitrary arrests, indiscriminate firing into the crowd, and mass public executions. NCRI held a conference on the Iran protests. On Friday, Ms. Dowlat Norouzi, the representative in the UK for the National Council of Resistance of Iran, took part in a live online press conference about the nationwide 8-day uprising in Iran and answered questions posed by journalists. Mr. Shahin Qobadi, a member of the NCRI Foreign Affairs Committee, moderated the conference. Ms. Norouzi said that the protests began on November 15 and spread with a stunning speed. The regime engaged in a bloody suppression and completely blocked the internet on November 17 to prevent the news on the scale of the protests and the scope of its brutal crackdown. Iran, 8th day of nationwide protests amidst continued internet blackout. Cities, towns, and villages checkered throughout Iran are experiencing escalating demonstrations, protests, and a nationwide uprising, which expanded into its 8th day on Friday. Tehran and many other cities are witnessing ongoing arrests and protests as Iranian people have risen in at least 165 cities across the country, with at least 251 killed and over 3,700 people injured by the regime's oppressive security forces. Reports also indicate more than 7,000 protesters have been arrested. Reports indicate the actual statistics could unfortunately be far higher. The internet in Iran has been shut down for more than 134 hours, according to netblocks.org.